Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
It's Mia.
I'm Kamal.
I'm Enzo.
I'm skeptic.
And tonight, guys, we have the first results coming in from our election watch night. And it's the winner for the Virginia race. And as expected, the Democrat won. So, Skeptic, I'm going to let you go first. What do you think about this race? And did you anticipate that she would win?
Yeah, I think not just her, but I think that even in New York, I guess, what is it? A independent versus a Democrat. I think that people are starting to wake up. There's a lot of things that are going on that are really detrimental to Americans, that are really affecting the average American. The removal of the DOE is now turning out to have been really having a negative impact on children with disabilities. So I think that there's going to be a lot of seats that are going to be given to Democratic people instead of being Republican, because we're starting to see that the Republican policies are not planning out the way that people anticipated them to.
Well, before we go to the next person, I'm gonna let Enzo go next, but I have some watch results that we can watch real quick. This is live at the headquarters. Let's see what's going on. Uh-oh. Whoops, sorry guys. I guess it's nothing yet. We'll keep a lookout and we'll watch some more. Enzo, what are you predicting as a New Yorker, or not New Yorker, but what do they call a New Englander or the tri-state area? What do you think is going to happen in NYC?
This is absolutely a shame. This is absolutely a shame that we are voting in somebody who, one, lied about his citizenship, two, lied about his aunt being in New York at 9/11. Somebody who said America deserved 9/11. Somebody who spoke very, very badly about multiple things having to do with New York City and 9/11. Somebody who's a communist, a socialist at the end of the day. Sorry, I'll get it right for everybody. Who's going to run the capitalist capital of the United States into the ground. And it's terrible. And, I agree with what Mia was saying earlier, that it should happen as a pet project, but at the same time, like I said earlier too, it shouldn't be at the expense of the American people that wanted what they want best. Because listen, the millionaires and the billionaires and all the people that have money are going to flee. What happens to everybody else? What happens to my family members that are over there that are literally pissed off and upset that this dude is going to get in there, that don't have the means to leave, that don't want to live in a socialist state or socialist city? It's absolutely terrible that people literally just voted for this man just to spite Republicans. And that's explicitly what this is. I was on my friend's live earlier today, my friend Millie. She was breaking down every single thing that this man was running on. And people are like, yeah, he's great, he's great, he's great. And then once she goes into his policies and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I voted for that person. Oh my, are you serious? That's what he was running on? People don't pay attention to policies no more. People don't pay attention to anything other than red or blue. And that's where this country has led us. And I think it's absolutely terrible. It's literally just to spite one party or the other. No, people need to wake up and actually look into who you're voting for, not just party lines.
Yeah, well, and I agree. But leading up to the results for the Virginia race, what was shocking was the support that the white Democratic candidate got, and it offended some Black conservatives, including a friend of the show, Jordan Wells. Let's hear what he had to say.
So the NAACP is endorsing the liberal white woman in Virginia over the conservative Christian faith-filled Black woman in Virginia for candidate. The NAACP needs to be disbanded. This is an organization that I have no respect for, that at one time did so much for the African American experience in this country, has now become a laughingstock and a joke, has become an organization with no morals, no values, and doesn't represent the civil rights movement that that were led by mostly a lot of Christian ministers. It has become a Marxist organization that endorses transgenderism, that destroys the black community, that endorses everything demonic and evil about that's toxic about the black community. You have a woman, they would endorse a white woman, a liberal white woman, over a black woman just because she has an R in front of her name and not a D in front of her name. If they were really about black people, they would endorse candidates based off policies. They would sit down and interview candidates and see what they have to offer the black community. But the NAACP has become an arm of the Democratic Party. They're not a real organization that makes any change. They're not helping homeless black people. They're not helping struggling black people. They are a joke as an organization. They've been a joke for a very, very, very long time. They've done nothing since the civil rights movement for black people. And they're trying to hold on to relevance by endorsing like anybody actually still cares about the NAACP.
Wow. Okay. So Mia, what is your thoughts on what he said? Identity politics. Are we done with it? Like, why didn't she win? And Virginia was a good mix of people.
I mean, Virginia, it is a good mix. I would consider Virginia a purple state. Sometimes they're red leaning, sometimes they're blue leaning. I think it all kind of depends on the cycle and how economically good they're doing. I will say I was a little surprised by the NAACP. So for those of the viewers that don't know what that means, it's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So it is a nonpartisan entity. I'll repeat, a nonpartisan entity for the advancement of colored people. So for the fact that a nonpartisan entity for the advancement of specifically for colored people went and endorsed a Caucasian person speaks volumes about how far their mission statement has fallen. Like, they are for the advancement of colored people, and it's a slap in the face to the founders from the early 1900s for them to do that. It would have been better for them to be quiet and sit it out and just do a donation than to go against their entire mission statement. Winsome Earl, she may not be ethnically American as she is Jamaican and naturalized immigrant from Jamaica here at 6 years old and lived in the Bronx, New York. That's where she grew up. But at the same time, colored people doesn't say American colored people, just says colored people. So that's what upsets me the most about them. And for me, that's very fake of them. That's very disingenuous of them. They're for the advancement of colored people. And considering she was the first ever female lieutenant governor elected, the first in Virginia, the first ever female lieutenant migrant elected there. I mean, she's done a lot of firsts in Virginia. I'm not saying she deserved to win, but I am saying what the NCAA did was like really fucked up. Excuse my French. Like, it was a terrible thing for them to do. And it wasn't cool, but it also shows that they don't care about the advancement of colored people. They are just party lines. It's blue no matter who, regardless if they're right or wrong or what color they are. And the same thing for Barack Obama, because he's supposed to be our Black Knight in shining armor, and here he is, same thing. I would have rathered him be quiet too. But it just goes to show these people really aren't for the Black Americans. They're really not for colored people. Their actions speak louder than words.
Kamal, what do you think? Do you think that NAACP should have supported her, or do you agree with them not because she is not FBA? What's your thoughts?
First of all, who made that intro?
I did. What's the problem?
Oh shit! You got undercover agent. Now we gotta remove that. And that nigga
right
looks
now, what's trending
looking like me. I'm sorry. We gotta remove that agent shit from me.
If you don't like it, are you a Fed? What's the problem? Are you a Fed?
No, that's the whole thing. I'm not a Fed. That's the point. We gotta remove that shit. Put undercover brother or something. God damn.
Undercover brother.
Yeah, something shit. That undercover agent, man, I ain't feeling that. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm not feeling that shit.
Okay, I'll remove yours.
Yeah. Second of all, this Jamaican fucking tether. I'm glad she fucking lost. This is probably the first thing the NAACP done did in a fucking while. You feel me? And I'm not surprised the NAACP ain't supporting a Republican. They Democratic shills in the first place. The fuck? But let me read to y'all real quick of why this goddamn Jamaican tether, I'm glad she fucking lost. You feel me? Here she goes. She said, Earl Sears has framed slavery as a part of history with some lingering vestige, but insists that America should move on from it rather than dwelling on it. Bitch, you got some fucking nerve. You don't tell that to the Jewish people about the Holocaust. I'm tired of that shit. I'm glad she lost because she was going to be having a bunch of policies that help out immigrants. She wasn't going to help out no Black Americans. I already see the fucking bull jive she was going to be on. Look, I'm glad she took the L, and I'm surprised the NAACP got something right for the goddamn first time in the past fucking like 10 years. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, Lord Jesus. That was a whole lot right there. Okay, so moving on. Let's play this clip of what Gavin Newsom had to say, and I'll let Gray respond on Biden, because a lot of this, I think, is about the president and the former president.
I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Did you legitimately believe that he was capable of serving as president until January of 2029?
Yeah, I think my focus was frankly situational. It was making sure Donald Trump didn't get back into office to experience everything that we're experiencing today. And there was no interaction I had that suggested otherwise.
What do you say to Americans who feel misled by you and other top Democrats
in what respect? He decided to step
about
down.
The mental acuity of President Biden, that they wish you'd sounded the alarm sooner to give way for
an open
convention?
I'm not going to substitute myself for someone else or for popular opinion. I'm going to express my relationship to my truth with the former president of the United States, including at the end of his term, quite literally, in December, which was a masterclass of foreign policy and domestic policy, which I will never forget as we walk through not just the election, but we're walking through the world we're living in. There was nothing to suggest what you just said or others have suggested in terms of my interaction. That's all I can be accountable for.
Gray, what's your thoughts? What do you think about what he said? Should Democrats be held accountable for Biden and the deteriorated state he was in towards the end?
That was horrible advice. That was Ron DeSantis' downfall when he tried to usurp Trump too early, and then the Republicans turned on him. Gavin Newsom was smart. He stayed out of it, let Kamala take the fall, and was patient and is waiting his turn. The similarity with Biden and Trump right now is that Americans care about affordability, which what some people would call inflation. So that's what Trump ran on fixing. It's still an issue. People can't afford fuel. People having problems affording stuff. So that's why you see people who are running on affordability winning elections.
That's pretty deep right there. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully they'll call the results for the next race. But in the meantime, we are going to switch gears and we'll let you